This is Wildcast.
Welcome to Wildcast. I'm Max Efron.
And I'm Monique Padilla. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Immigration reform appears to be coming to a near tipping point in our country. Wildcast reporter Sammy Jo Roth reports from Washington, D.C. to tell us how government officials on both sides of the political spectrum are taking broad strides towards a significant compromise.
The first trip of Obama's second term resembling the energy of a campaign event.
I'm here today because the time has come for common sense, comprehensive immigration reform.
The president visiting this predominantly Hispanic Las Vegas high school to build support for immigration reform.
Now's the time.
The central message in his speech, a call for a pathway to citizenship for more than 11 million undocumented immigrants. Monday, a bipartisan group of senators laid out plans to push specific immigration reform legislation, including Arizona's Senator John McCain.
There will still be fights, there will still be battles, but I am more confident now than I have ever been that we can reach an agreement and have a bill signed by the president. We can't forever have 11 million people live in the shadows.
It could be a big step after years of deep divisions between Democrats and Republicans. There are some mixed reactions from Arizona lawmakers, a state long at the forefront of immigration enforcement.
We're doing a great job. Maybe that's why the Justice Department is taking me to court and Obama's going after me. That's sad. Here we have a recent election year. Now all at once everybody's talking about enforcing these laws. They should have been doing it years ago.
If lawmakers fail to advance their proposal, the president threatened to send his own legislation to Congress. Republicans in Congress responded to the president's speech today with caution. A spokesperson for House Speaker John Boehner warned the president not to interfere in bipartisan negotiations. Reporting on Capitol Hill, I'm Sammy Jo Roth for Wildcast.
Good news for upcoming flu season. Pharmacists say that although the flu is widespread across the U.S., it's not epidemic here in Tucson. If you do catch it, however, it's no secret that cough remedies and over-the-counter drugs aren't enough to fight the sickness. And if you go to UAMC to get your flu shot, they'll just defer you to a local clinic or pharmacy for the vaccine. Closer to campus, NextCare got their vaccine supply back in August,
This is peak flu.
but didn't see a big turnout until 3 weeks ago and only gave one dose in December.
Season right now, and it's really important to protect yourself against it. You know, airplanes are really good at transporting passengers.
One local pharmacy says they give an average of 3 flu shots every day. It's not too late to get yours. This Walgreens has about a dozen to 20 doses remaining. A pharmacist there says the flu debilitates your immune
But they're
system,
also
so
really
you are
good at
more
transporting.
susceptible to harsher illnesses like pneumonia, for which a vaccine is also available. Pneumonia shots are recommended for kids and older adults.
The stomach flu, as it is so commonly called, has in fact nothing to do with the actual flu. Wildcast reporter Allie Lee tells us what it really is and how to avoid it.
The flu is come and gone, but neurovirus is the new illness sweeping campus. Symptoms include, but are not limited to, stomach cramping, nausea, and throwing up, which can ultimately lead to dehydration.
The way you get infected is, it can be on any surface. It's a fecal oral contaminant, which is as gross as it sounds. Somebody that goes to the bathroom, doesn't wash their hands well, touches something else. You touch that, touch your face, touch your mouth, easy to get infected.
Neurovirus, also known as the stomach flu, is most common during the winter and affects about 21 million Americans annually. Neurovirus is highly contagious and spreads quickly. It's commonly found in schools, hotels, and healthcare facilities.
I'm going to prevent getting neurovirus by washing my hands all the time, working out, and eating healthy.
Unfortunately, there's no drug or vaccine to treat it, but the good news is recovery is only about 1 to 2 days. Hand sanitizer reduces the number of germs, but it's no substitute for soap and water. To stay healthy, make sure you thoroughly wash your hands before eating, after going to the bathroom, and as soon as you get home. If you have the virus, it's important to stay hydrated and drink plenty of fluids. Reporting from Campus Health, I'm Allie Lee with Wildcast.
You know, I really hate getting the flu. I feel like food just never tastes the same.
I totally agree. Yeah, I mean, after 10 years, I still can't eat barley.
Exactly. So. The UA has a new nonprofit organization that's helping students in need. Campus Pantry provides food and other numerous resources to staff and students who cannot otherwise obtain it. The big launch was on campus Friday with the hope that students and faculty alike will receive necessary help for years to come.
After the break, hear how the streetcar construction is progressing.
Hi, it's David Hasselhoff, the Hoff. Get Hoff with UATV. Stay tuned. Don't change the dial.
People may tune out someone they see on a median trying to sell newspapers.
Those extra few hours of having to swipe your cat card to get in at night might be keeping non-U of A students out of the library.
And while some are traveling to Mexico for cheaper gas, others are forced to pay those high prices at the pump.
Students and parents are always invited to come cheer on the Wildcats.
We'll see you back here next week for another edition of Wildcast.
Welcome back. With brand new streetcars expected to be roaming the streets of the city in the near future, what do the citizens and businesses of Tucson have to look forward to? Wildcast reporter Danielle Carpenter has the scoop.
Some students may not be aware of why there are so many construction areas around campus. Many of those areas are for installing the new Tucson Modern Streetcar, which is estimated to be completed by late 2013. The project was approved by voters in 2006 as an alternate transportation method, not just for UA students, but all of the city.
Well, for the city, I think it's going to revitalize downtown. I think it gives businesses downtown the opportunity for more people to come to their businesses, certainly more students to come to their businesses. You know, the two major population centers, or the two work centers of the whole region, are the university and downtown. So to connect those two, it just makes sense if you're trying to start a business, if you're just looking for a more vibrant downtown, more stuff going on.
So far, this project has generated more than 500 jobs, $800 million in public and private investments, $19 million to improve water and sewer infrastructure, and 1,500 new homes. This 3.9-mile streetcar track is expected to benefit the 100,000 people that live and work within half a mile of the route.
We're seeing a lot of new student housing going up downtown, often right on the streetcar line, so they're going to be able to just jump on the streetcar and come to class. There's the development along the line, so you know, maybe in the future there's a grocery store, and they'll be able to jump on that and just go grocery shopping instead of having to have a car or get in their car or borrow a car from their friend.
Reporting from University, I'm Danielle Carpenter for Wildcast.
The Waste Management Open is a PGA Tour event unlike any other. Located at the TPC Scottsdale Golf Course, this event has more spectators than any other event on the tour. Approximately 500,000 people attended over the 4 days of the tournament. Unlike most golf events, there are huge galleries there to watch the players play, but also to enjoy cold drinks and a fun atmosphere. They have what is known as the greatest hole in golf, the stadium hole at the 16th, which is a par 3 that is completely enclosed by stands. This is a popular area where you can see things such as caddies racing to the green, scorekeepers jumping into the water, or people kicking autographed footballs into the stands. As golfer Padraig Harrington did this past Saturday, Phil Mickelson won the championship this year. He is a course favorite who always gets the most applause, being a graduate of Arizona State University and calling Scottsdale his home in the off-season.
Preaching on campus has always been a long-standing controversy for students, but this year the issue has piqued even more interest than usual with the arrival of a new speaker. Wildcast reporter Caitlin Galante has more.
Hi Wildcats. When walking around the University of Arizona campus, you might get distracted by people trying to communicate to large crowds on the mall. These people are generally known as the preachers on campus. These individuals usually stand at the grass patch located in between the Modern Languages building and the Student Union.
I've seen a lot of preachers on campus before, and they always say really negative things, such as like homosexuality is not accepted and how they will go to hell, and I don't believe that those things should be said on campus.
Those guys are kind of annoying. You know, you're trying to go to class, they're always asking you to stop and talk about, do you believe in God? Where are you at in your faith? I just don't really find it necessary.
These people go out of their way every day to make a statement. Expressing individuality and freedom of speech are not taken lightly here at the U of A.
On our campus, we have several different types of forum that fall within the guidelines of how we help to make sure that we're upholding the First Amendment. And most of our outdoor space on campus is what is called a designated public forum, which means that we can restrict things like time, place, and manner of speech and activities, but it also means that we cannot put any restrictions upon content of the speech.
It may be difficult for some students to have to face these issues, but the university is coming up with ways to help the individuals express their minds while remaining respectful to the other students.
So the Dean of Students Office is working on a series of workshops to help spread information about the different things that we do on campus. And one of those workshops will be on the First Amendment and, how do we work with freedom of speech on our campus.
The preachers may be a distraction to students trying to get from class to class, but they are preaching what they believe. I'm Caitlin Galante, reporting on the Mall for Wildcast.
Looking for a way to stay active on campus besides hitting the gym? Reporter Natasha Malenko has all the details about the newest addition to women's sports here at the U of A.
As the University of Arizona already offers 11 women's sports and 8 men's, they are looking forward to the addition of one more sport in spring 2014, women's sand volleyball.
When we were determining which sport to add, we narrowed it down to sand volleyball, women's water polo, and women's triathlon. Partly because of the popularity of the sports in the region, the weather, what other Pac-12 schools were adding sports, and really everything led to sand volleyball being the #1 sport to add.
As an emerging sport, we can officially go out and have 5 female student athletes on scholarship this academic year. So the 13 and 14 academic year. We will compete in the spring of 14. So we've hired Steve Walker, our head coach, and he is tasked with kind of reviewing and analyzing those recruits this spring and having 5 roster spots with full scholarships for student athletes. The supplemental nature of the sport, you've got 5 teams competing in pairs, so you have 10 student athletes actively competing every week. We have to have at least 6 competitions in year 1, so we have an opportunity there to supplement with walk-on staff, tryouts, student athletes from other sports, student athletes as they compete their eligibility in other sports, but we will probably have about a roster size of about 15 and be able to add up to 6 full-time scholarships, which is capped.
In order to be an officially sponsored NCAA team, 40 teams must compete in 2 consecutive seasons. In the Pac-12, 4 schools have already established sand volleyball as a sport. As for the Wildcats, they are still looking for their home venue, but one thing is for sure, the students and local community will be cheering this team on.
We're really happy to hear that the Wildcats will be taking part in women's sand volleyball. I think it's an up-and-coming sport. You've seen in the Olympics that it's really taken off. It has a pretty big following, and I think that the same can be said on a college level. And I know we're still a team short from getting involved in NCAA play at a Pac-12 level, but I think that once that happens and we get a facility on campus, you're going to see that students are really going to get behind it. We already have a pretty good following for our indoor team, and I think that once we're able to get that facility on campus, it's going to be really easy to get students there once they see the product. It's as fun as I think it will be.
Reporting for Wildcast, I'm Natasha Malenko.
It's about time, in my opinion, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really great sport to have here on campus. So.
Absolutely.
Some wild things are coming to UATV this week. We'll have more information after the break.
I'm Derek Williams, the former U of A Wildcat. You're watching UATV. Don't change the channel.
Hello, and welcome to UA Tonight.
We are your hosts.
No. It's okay, you don't have to cut me off.
No way.
Guatemala.
I'm like
Thank
literally
you so
obsessed.
much.
Baby, I'll be stuck to you like glue. Baby.
It's
All
not
these
easy.
travelers, I've never
It's
even been
not
there.
easy.
For drunk driving after calling the cops on himself.
We thought that, you guys.
Oh my
God!
Welcome back. The UA Rec Center has some big changes in mind by way of expansion. Reporter Megan Canterbury has the inside scoop on what exactly those plans will mean for students looking to exercise.
University of Arizona students are in for a big surprise at the Rec Center this coming fall. And no, it's not more workout machines. A new recreational field is going to be put in at the southwest corner of 6th and Cherry.
It'll be used primarily for intramural and club sports, but any of our other programs will be able to use it as well. Fitness, kind of outdoor adventures.
In the fall of 2013, this parking lot will be a recreational field to be used by clubs and intramural sports. This field will also be using reclaimed water, making it a more environmentally friendly project. A new parking structure will also be built where 2 south of 6 lots are currently located. According to Parking and Transportation Services, the structure is estimated to hold between 800 and 900 cars. While the extra spaces are good news, students are not looking forward to construction.
It's going to be a little bit of an inconvenience just because I love walking right here, walking underneath the stadium to get to my classes. Sleeping habits might have to change a little bit. I love to sleep in, but construction usually starts real early in the morning.
Students look forward to using the field, happy that it is open to the public rather than solely for the use of college athletics.
I haven't done clubs or intramurals in the past, but this field might be the thing that makes me sign up for them because it sounds really cool.
According to Campus Recreation, the U of A will spend $3.5 million on this project. The field has been on the UA master plan since the mid-90s, so this is a very exciting and highly anticipated project for Campus Rec. Reporting from the UA Rec Center for Wildcast, I'm Megan Canterbury.
Students now have the opportunity to have breakfast with U of A president. ASUA is hosting the first ever breakfast club meeting where students can converse with Dr. Ann Weaver-Hart to ask questions about her plans for the university. The event will be held Thursday, February 14th from 8 to 9 a.m. in the Ventana Room on the 4th floor of the Student Union. We'll be there next week to bring students unable to come coverage on the event.
Wildcast is going to get even wilder this week. The San Diego Zoo will be coming to show off their new upcoming Australian Outback exhibit, complete with a kangaroo, birds, and reptiles. Be sure to tune in this Thursday at 2:30 p.m. for a live look, and later next week night, we will have a full breakdown.
Stay tuned for this weekend's Super Bowl highlights and an overview of other sports news after the break.
Hi, it's David Hasselhoff, the Hoff. Get Hoff with UATV. Stay tuned. Don't change the dial.
People may tune out someone they see on a median trying to sell newspapers.
Those extra few hours of having to swipe your cat card to get in at night might be keeping non-U of A students out of the library.
And while some are traveling to Mexico for cheaper gas, others are forced to pay those high prices at the pump.
Students and parents are always invited to come cheer on the Wildcats.
We'll see you back here next week for another edition of Wildcast. And we're back. Now we're joined by Joey and Evan from Dorm Room Sports Chat.
Hello, I'm Joey Petrello, joined by my colleague Evan Murray to break down yesterday's game. It was the Super Bowl, of course, Evan, and Ray Lewis, it's the end of his career. He announced that he would retire at the end of this postseason regardless of how far the Ravens made it. And what I want to know, Evan, is would Baltimore have won the Super Bowl had Lewis not made that announcement?
Listen, at the end of the day, it really matters about how each team played. You know, like Ray Lewis's decision wasn't how Joe Flacco threw the ball, how well the defense or the offense played. I think there was some motivation in there, but at the end of the day, they won it because they played well.
Well, I think coming into the playoffs as well, they were a team that was the underdog. I would say, you know, New England was going in the favorite as well as Denver. Baltimore, they had a chip on their shoulder no matter what, and I think that Ray Lewis has even influenced that more.
Yeah, I think that's what they played on the whole season, kind of just being an underdog, and I think that's really what took them to the Super Bowl and really pushed them to, you know, make it work.
And also, I think that another thing, do you remember last season when Billy Cundiff missed that short field goal, I believe it was 29 yards, that would have sent the game into overtime, and then the Ravens possibly could have been in the Super Bowl last year. This year, they have the rookie Justin Tucker, who was money from the kicker position, I would say. 30 of 33 overall, and yesterday he played a phenomenal game as well.
Yeah.
Well, also, Evan, we can all remember that this was probably one of the most signature moments in the game. The power outage that delayed the game to the point where players were stretching to keep loose. And Evan, the 49ers, once that all came to an end and we started to play football again, the 49ers were making a huge comeback push. Would they have been able to do that if the game was never stalled?
No, I don't think so, because I think the Ravens really had the momentum, and that really just, I think that gave the 49ers a chance to get it together. I mean, obviously no one wants to stall in the game, but I think that's really, they could collect themselves and move forward. And we all know that the 49ers, I mean, they had the big comeback before, and so I think that gave them the push. I don't think it helped the Ravens at all by any means.
I don't think it helped the Ravens at all, and I think it did help the 49ers, like you said, because before that, they didn't look like they were quite ready for the moment. And I don't know if that break in time, you know, kind of made them relax and just kind of focus and realize that they're a good football team and they have to focus on the task at hand, which is winning the game, and they have to put everything else behind them from the previous half. So I think that definitely, that stall in the game definitely
and they've done it before. So, I mean, how easy is that to just collect your mind and realize that they can still come back, which fell short, but I think they had a chance there.
Now, Evan, Joe Flacco's contract is up from the one that he signed in his rookie season. He's likely in for big money this offseason, especially with that Super Bowl MVP he just collected yesterday. But is he worth the money that guys like Tom Brady and the Manning brothers are paid?
Okay, well, I find it funny because I saw in an article that Eli Manning compared himself to Tom Brady in the 2011-2012 season, and everyone laughed at him, and then he goes and wins the Super Bowl. And I guess Flacco did the same thing, so I find it
Flacco said he was the best quarterback in the league.
Right, and then, I mean, did anyone else win a Super Bowl? Obviously not, so I think he should be paid with how well and how far he took his team, and, I mean, the Super Bowl is what happened, so.
He played a great game, didn't turn the ball over at all, 3 touchdowns, no interceptions. Over these past few years, he definitely hasn't put up the numbers that Brady has or Manning has, but still, you can't deny the fact that he had a great postseason and that he should at least be earning somewhat close to them. I mean, you have guys like Matt Ryan who are making a ton of money as well, who has one postseason win. And Joe Flacco has had his team in the AFC Championship game, I believe, the past two, 3 seasons. So, you know, he deserves the money, I think.
I agree with you.
All right, now this is a deep question, Evan. We're going to get deep here. The whole brother versus brother matchup naturally attracted a lot of attention from the media and fans alike, including myself. You know, they held that press conference together. The first game they ever played together was in the regular season, and that was hyped up a lot. So this was a big game for the both of them. So now that John has that Super Bowl win over his brother, is their relationship ever going to be the same?
I don't think it's that. I don't think there's any negative. I don't think anything came out of it negatively. I think if anything, more respect is now given. I mean, coaches are pretty good. It seems like they're pretty level-headed in the sense where football is football and family is family. That's what it seems like to me. I don't know.
I don't think it hurt the relationship at all that the 49ers started to come back a little bit towards the end. Imagine if the Ravens had just slaughtered them the whole game, then
there might be an issue.
Then there might be an issue, you know. But still, if my brother beat me, I don't have a real brother, but if I had a brother who beat me in the Super Bowl, you know, I would lose sleep about it for a while.
But I would definitely respect my brother if I also had one too, a lot more than.
And I'd be hungry for another chance to play him. I'm sure they're both looking forward to that.
Yep.
All right, thanks for the insight, Evan, and make sure you all tune into Sunday for Dorm Room Sports Chat. It's the spring semester premiere, and it's going to be a lot of fun, a great season. We had a great first season, and we are looking forward to this second one. So with that said, back to Wildcast. And
Thank you both for that rundown. As always, thanks for tuning in to Wildcast. You can watch us anytime online at uatv.arizona.edu or on our YouTube channel, UATVCH3.
We'll see you next week for another edition of Wildcast.